Hey guys, it's just Adam and today we'll be discussing should SPFL referees go full time. We'll be discussing the logics, like why they're part time in the first place, the poor consistency in Scottish refereeing, and it continues to dampen their game so much. If you enjoy this kind of content, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and click that mad wee bell because you'll get post notifications, and I'll be going to a lot of more matches next year, and if this video is out in the new year this year, and we'll discuss kind of stuff like that. And let's get into it. So obviously I think it's well known that SPFL referees are part-time, but mostly anyway. I don't know any full-time ones. We've got our John Beatons, our David Dickinsons, and our... oh my god, I forgot all of them. Willie Collins, you've got Kevin Clancy, and there's a lot of referees in Scotland. This is sad that we know their names, like we remember them. It's because they've been part-time and we know them for so long. There is obviously positives to part-time, is the SFA don't have to pay as much money, and it saves the business cost, as football is not a daily job. There's not matches every day of the week, so I guess that's probably their argument against going full time. But the arguments are going full time against part time are much bigger. Full time obviously ensures that the referees are not. So if they have two jobs, like for example, I think John Beaton works in a Asda, if I'm right in saying this, or he works in a superstore anyway, right? I'm going to speculate. I'm positive it is, and basically he'll be thinking, I'm just doing the refereeing for money. You've even got Douglas Ross, who's a Tory MP, who's an SP, he's a linesman. He's refereed in the lower leagues, and it's one of the things they're going to be focusing on their main job. Like, the referee is not their main job, but if you get people who are focusing refereeing as their main priority, they'll be analysing it daily, analysing games daily to see where they go wrong, where they could go right, types of decisions that happen maybe more regular. Obviously, learning VAR, if you're full time, you would be learning how to use the technology in full, because it's not been used in full a lot recently. I'll be talking about that later in the video. Accountability, obviously if you're full time, you generally just have less bias because it's your chosen career. You'll be able to maybe get referees for somewhere else, don't know, or it would be a training programme for PE. So I don't know if referees are able to announce that they're their team before they go into it, so they don't get that team or that the rival or whatever. So they don't go up against a team that they're biased against. Obviously, it is long term. The way I see it is long term cost and long term game. So you're getting better refereeing, less controversy. The league gains credibility because people are looking at oh, good referees. Oh, I like that version of VAR. I like that. But that's not been the case in the SPFL, and there's been too many. I mean, Gordon Duncan and Willie Collum do a show on the FA YouTube channel discussing the mistakes or the good things that the VAR has done throughout a season. But it is, in recent times, it's created a bit of hangway. So the first one is Livingston should have got a penalty against Rangers due to Fernandez's handball, and you can see it off that part of his arm, and he kind of saved it pretty much. But that should have been a penalty, wasn't given to Livingston. a couple of years ago they failed to award a Kelly penalty against St Johnstone. If you've saw offside lines by the SFA, it is a joke. That's not the referee's fault. That's because the people who are working on VAR are part-time and they don't know how to draw lines. Obviously they've been given training but not enough. There's been many other decisions such as Hearts and Celtic. There was 2 incorrect penalty calls. I think that was last year. And well, this year, last year, I think it might have been last year. Hibs Hearts, there's been many wrong penalties. There's been disallowed goals. Like Maeda's late equaliser was incorrectly ruled out because the ball went out of play. That was actually, I remember that one, it was like the line because they don't have the VAR in place to get the line. But you could easily see it in the TV screens. If they gave them the TV screens, they might be able to announce that it was a goal. Obviously, Aberdeen v Hearts, there's been many handball situations that are going in the other team's favour due to the referees not having the correct training. Basically, the summary of this video is I think referees should be full time, because if you're not a profession full time, it affects so many people. Like, for example, on the 3rd of January, Rangers get a penalty against Celtic. That's going to affect them, and they score it and they win the game. That's going to affect Celtic fans like fucking mentally, because it's not went in like a decision incorrectly has went against them. It's just going to rule over the Rangers winning, and it's just going to rule over the weekend. But if we have full time referees to get that decision correct, Rangers don't get a penalty, the game goes in whatever favour. Say if Rangers still win, but Celtic fans will be less bothered, and the media will be less bothered because the correct decision's been made throughout the match. What I'm trying to say is if they go full time, because that's what ruins Scottish football. It's like we play. I'll be making a video about this as well as expanding the league, because we've players sell too many times. The other thing is our referees are that bad. It takes over the actual. Some teams doing well, for Motherwell doing well, but if a decision happens in that game for them that is wrong because the referees are not fully trained, and that, what will happen is it will just overrule how well they are doing. So I think the summary of this video basically is we need full time, fuck part time, and it will make the SPL feel better long term. So Billy Colm, if you're listening to this, please just make them full time and create a better training program, make it more easier to get in refereeing, make sure you're obviously referees are hitting standards of the game. Obviously referees are bound to make mistakes, but the amount of mistakes that are made, it's a gamely basis at this rate. I think it's not on. I think it needs to be changed. If you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, but post notifications, keep smiling, and thanks for watching. Have a great day guys, and goodbye.